Hey. So let's talk about drawer systems. I have an opinion on drawer systems that has been founded over a little while. I originally thought that I would put a decent size or a decent setup in the back of the Jeep, some sort of a drawer system where I could slide things in and out and use it to store all sorts of things. And when I started looking into what options were available commercially, there wasn't really a lot around for the TJ, and the ones that were sort of one large drawer, and you seem to lose a lot of space just installing it. And so the idea of drawer systems for the TJ, or any small four-wheel drive for that matter, I think it's probably not the best use of space. Obviously, you do this sort of touring and camping and things like that we like to do. You want to take a fridge with you. You want to have enough supplies to last you a few weeks out on the road. And yeah, so dealing with a short wheelbase vehicle can be a challenge in that respect. So the mindset sort of quickly shifted to building something myself. Now, I'm not exactly a handyman sort of guy. I never really done a lot of construction type activity with any sort of materials. So the first thing I did was I went down to the hardware store and bought myself a circular saw and some plywood, and then set about trying to put together a solution that would allow me to bolt down a fridge and to have somewhere to, put stuff. Didn't really think it through too far beyond somewhere to bolt the fridge. So the first attempt, was relatively successful. I managed to make a platform with a little enclosed area where I could put some bags on the top and some of the heavier stuff underneath. It worked quite well. We took that setup on a trip to Tasmania, and we quickly realised that there was a lot of wasted space above the fridge, and I didn't have a fridge slide at that stage, so having that sort of wasted space was a bit annoying, because you had to be able to get into the fridge, but you didn't really want to put anything on top of it, and otherwise you'd have to keep moving it around. It was a bit of a pain in the butt. So the other thing that we were lacking really was somewhere to put stuff when you pulled over on the side of the road. If you wanted to, say, have a cup of tea or make a sandwich while you're on the road, there was sort of nowhere to put things, or to set your cups if you wanted to pour a cup of tea, or somewhere to cut your sandwich. So yeah, the initial version of our rear storage system was a bit of a failure. I mean, it worked, but it just was lacking some thought. Anyway, after that trip, I decided to start again. We got back and went and bought some more plywood, and before that I sort of wanted to work out a way that we could make use of the space above the fridge, and obviously the first thing to do was to go and get a fridge slide and have the fridge slide out of some sort of enclosure, allowing you to put things on top of that enclosure. But then I stumbled across the MSA fridge slide product, which was relatively new at that stage. I think I ended up with one of the very first models. They look very different now, but mine was one of the very first. So I bought the MSA fridge slide. It was a very expensive piece of gear, weighed an absolute ton, but I think that was sort of the linchpin for getting a good solution and a good setup for the rear of the Jeep. With the drop down slide and the fridge up the top, it meant having sort of a decent open area below to structure some sort of an environment where we could store things we needed. So the end result of that is the storage system that we've got now, which is basically two sections at the bottom. a fridge slide on the left, you can probably see it here, and then an open space on the other side. So we sourced some boxes to store our stuff in, because again, I thought about putting slides in, but you lose so much space with the sliders that and also if you do put slides in, you end up with drawers, and then you start to limit the amount of space that you can make use of. So we decided to leave it with no drawers at all, and just have these big open cavities where we can put boxes in, or whatever, basically anything you like. So we got these boxes from Bunnings. Actually, they're Kitab, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Kitab. They're very large, square-sided boxes. The lids don't lock on; they don't stack inside on one another. They're a very square box, which is great for packing things like long life milk or anything with square edges. Packs in there quite nicely. So we ended up being able to take 3 of the medium-sized boxes, as well as our clothing, all within the structure that we've created, using this fridge slide as the way to make use of the space above the fridge, which there is none now really, except for a small cavity which we've made use of by putting this netting in here, and the netting allows us to put very light items like pillows and things like that in the netting, which again make use of all the space, up above, even above the fridge. So I think the other thing that was really came out of that first Tasmania trip was not having anywhere to put things when you're making a cup of tea or making a sandwich for lunch. So the other thing that we did was we put this slide out table inside one of the sections at the back there, and as you can see, it sort of just gives you that little bit of extra space where you can put things while you're preparing. You can put the cooker on there if you want to make some dinner. The cooker fits on there quite nicely. It's very sturdy. It looks pretty good too, and I think the advantage that we have with what we've built, as opposed to what you can buy, just really suits our needs. I don't think I'd ever look at a commercial drawer system, in future, just purely because of how well everything works when you actually take a moment to think about it, learn from some mistakes, and end up with a solution that's fit for purpose. So, yeah. I don't have anything against commercial drawer systems. I'm sure they're great. They just weren't really right for me and my use case. So, if you do have an idea for a drawer system that's like mine, or something else you've seen, feel free to comment. And if you've got some more information about this one, also let me know. It's pretty easy to use a circular saw once you start to play with it, and then making it look good is just a matter of putting a bit of effort in and making sure it's all bolted down properly is probably the most crucial thing. Well, that's it for this one. Take it easy. I'll see you on the trails.